Welcome to Forbidden Planet TV, where I'm privileged to be joined by the amazing Titan Comics Doctor Who creative team. We have spectacular author Jody Houser. Hello, Jody.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am very well, thank you, mate. Thanks for asking. And the one and only Eren Enrica Angiolini. How are you, mate?
I'm very good. Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
And I'm glad that you're here. And we were just discussing the very much missed Roberta Ingranata. Hello, Roberta. We're thinking of you while we're doing this panel about your fine work. And we're here to talk about your new Doctor Who limited series from Titan Comics, which launches in the middle of March, which is Doctor Who Missy. We're specifically talking about Missy issue 1, which is, of course, dedicated and concerning the amazing female incarnation of the Master, played by the brilliant Michelle Gomez. Jody, what can you tell us about the story?
We get to see Missy sort of take the reins here. I don't want to give away too much, but I think from the art that we've seen previewed, she's not going to be the only version of the Master in the story. She might be hanging out with the Delgado incarnation, who was the first that audiences got to see. And there's probably going to be a couple doctors popping in and out of the book too, but it really is Missy's rodeo. She's the one driving the story. She's the one taking charge and just having so much fun as she does her shenanigans.
I really can't wait to read it in detail rather than just see the proofs that I've seen around the office. Now, the thing about you intimated that that Missy might be meeting the Delgado Master, which would be fantastic. Are the doctors they will be interacting with Master and Master appropriate?
I will say there are Master appropriate doctor appearances, but that might not be the only doctors that we see.
Brilliant. Excellent. I love it. Now, this is, of course, the 50th anniversary this year of the creation of the Master, as first played by the amazing Roger Delgado. So what for you was exciting about embarking upon telling the story about the Missy incarnation? How about you, Enrica? What did you think? What did you think when you got a chance to do this?
As I've mentioned to you previously in other occasions, and we chatted about this a little bit, I knew how much this creative team especially is fond of Missy. So I knew that we were going to do something that we were really excited and passionate about. And I know Jody was waiting for this occasion and already loving working with her and with Roberta. I knew that like something that would spark so much interest, even more so in the creative team itself, would just bring a lot of joy to us and definitely to all the people who are going to read that, because there is a lot of work and love into it.
Yeah, right on. How about yourself, Jody?
Very much what Enrica said, but also getting to work on Missy with the Roberta, because Enrica and I did a little Missy story in Road to 13 back when we were working with Rachel Scott. So yeah, I was excited to get to write Missy again, of course, but I love that we get to work with Roberta, now that we've been doing Doctor Who together for so long, that I get to see what her Missy looks like. And she's so good at doing really expressive characters that it's just really exciting to see her take on someone who's so almost elastic in a way.
I think that's such a wonderful way to put it. I just want to take a quick side road out of what we're talking about and just talk about the fan response to your collective work on Doctor Who. So the two of you and Roberta, you've just had this wildly enthusiastic fan response to your time creating Doctor Who in the comics playing. How does that feel?
I mean, it feels really good. I think especially, when we've had stretches where the show isn't on, the fact that we're able to give people new Doctor Who stories to enjoy and that they seem to be really enraptured even when the show is happening and they have their sort of main Doctor Who fix. It's just been really lovely to see people, especially people who seem like they haven't really delved into Doctor Who comics or maybe comics at all before, just get really, really excited about the stories and what we're doing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think it's very nice to it happened to me a few times to have people like on Twitter and Instagram saying, oh gosh, there's a comic. What is this? What's happening? Where can I read this? And it's just very nice to be able to say, yes, this is real. You can go read this. Or when there's like news that come out, or we publish a preview or something, and people are, yeah, I've already pre-ordered this, and I'm gonna call my comic book shop and make sure they have that copy for me. And it's just very exciting to know that people are just so enamored with the project. It really gives a lot of strength when working on it.
It's also super cool when the official BBC Doctor Who Twitter account tweets something about us and what we're doing. It's like, we're real, we count.
Yeah. No, it's very exciting. As you know, I spend a lot of time mainly in business meetings with the BBC about the Doctor Who license. And the thing that I know that it's always such a pleasure to share with you guys is how much they love your comics. Yeah. And they all absolutely love them. And I think just to make sure you're really feeling this love just for a second or two longer, I think one of the things that the three of you have achieved, yourselves and Roberta, is that a lot of previous Doctor Who comic strips, pre-Titan, pre the era we're in now, were actually quite pedestrian. And if you set them alongside the television episodes, they're just not the same thing. They don't feel like the same thing. But I think what you guys have done is you've created something that very much feels authentically like Doctor Who, but it's a great comic book as well. And I think that connection hasn't always been there between those two endeavors. There's quite a lot of faithful comic books from 10, 15 years ago, but they're not great comic books. Yeah. But I think you're producing really great comics. And that's why people are getting excited about their pre-orders. And to loop this back around to what we're talking about, I've been lucky enough to see a bunch of these pages that you guys have put together and created, and they're fantastic. So on that note, Enrica, can you speak to working on the color scheme for this series of adventures starring Missy?
Yes, so as Jody mentioned, we had done a little bit of work on Missy in the past, but for this one, I think what's really interesting color-wise is the fact that Missy, as you might have seen a few sneak peeks around, is definitely not in her usual attire. She has a very vibrant appearance in this arc, and there's a reason for that, of course, and I think that would be just incredibly fun to read. But yeah, that was really cool because Jody gave us a very, very cool, very clear description, and Roberta did great work on the lines. And so I think that just even starting from the character palette, we might have some really cool surprises for everyone.
That's fantastic. Jody, where did your inspiration for that take come from?
I mean, that even in itself is a bit of a spoiler, but it is a look that Missy has chosen to take on for specific manipulative purposes. So let us say,
yeah, very Missy reasons.
I also just think Missy would have, it's like she tends to dress very like stylish for the era when she's dressing, so I thought she would still have even good taste when she's throwing more color into her wardrobe, let me say.
Yeah, I think that is very well said. Now we've talked quite a lot in the past on various panels over the last year or two about who your favorite doctors are for each of you. Something I was thinking about when I was preparing for this conversation was what is outside of a specific doctor. Who are there any characters within the Doctor Who universe that you haven't had the chance to explore yet that you would love to do so in future?
Donna, I think, actually. She's one of my favorite companions. I sort of love the weight she brings to things and the way she really makes the Doctor reconsider things that he hasn't maybe put as much thought into, having been around and around and around so much. So I love that dynamic, and I just sort of love her take on things, and she's just fun. So that would be a really fun character to write.
For me, so I have mentioned in the past in a few interviews who like my favorite companions or companion-like characters are. So in case anyone has watched any of those, I'm not gonna name anyone, but I'm gonna say that one of the characters that I have always said that I was very interested in working on will be included in some way or form into this arc. And I am incredibly excited for that, because I think it's going to be a treat for everyone.
So thank you for those answers. I'm gonna wind up that teaser, that cliffhanger, with a request, which is my favorite companion is Martha, right? And I would love a team as talented as you guys to do something with the Martha Mickey unit dynamic. That's what I'd really like to see more of personally, that I think has been underserved.
That would be very
That'd
fun.
be a lot of fun. Yeah, we got to do Martha a little bit in the first 13-10 crossover, but not with we haven't done Mickey at all. Definitely not the two of them together. And
I think exploring their life together, which you only get a teaser of really, and the adventures they've had to have that life together, I think that would be fascinating. Well, I'm glad we're all in agreement about that, guys. I'm glad I'm giving you food for thought here. You know, I can't write it, but you can. I would love to see it. So before we wind up on this special edition of Forbidden Planet TV, where I have been discussing with Enrica and with Jody the new ongoing or limited series for that's entitled Doctor Who Missy, but is completely dedicated to Missy. Back to my point about it's the 50th anniversary of the Master. The other thing Forbidden Planet's got going on, and we were talking about this off camera before we started recording, to tie into the release of Doctor Who Missy, is a series of 4 exclusive T-shirts featuring the Master for the 50th anniversary that you can see here. And you can pre-order all of these T-shirts, one for the Delgado Master, one for the Ainley Master, one for the Eric Roberts Master, and one for Gomez's Missy. You can pre-order all of those alongside issue 1 of Doctor Who Missy on the links right here. So guys, it's always so lovely to see you. Always lovely to get the chance to talk about Doctor Who with you. And it's just always so lovely to read and enjoy your work. So thanks for joining me today. And everybody who checks out Doctor Who Missy is not going to be disappointed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, it's great to see you again. Take care, both of you. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
If you're enjoying watching Forbidden Planet TV and you're enjoying watching us talk to the world's most interesting and accomplished filmmakers, authors, artists, musicians, creators, subscribe right here. See you soon.